Hey, church, it's a lovely summer day, and this is Things I Get Asked with Pastor Jeff. You might remember a year or two ago, I put out a series of videos that I called Things I Get Asked, and there were I think 9 of them, and covered a lot of interesting questions. I had something on my heart. I just kind of spontaneously felt like, let me share this today. This is the Things I Get Asked Worship Edition. So I've been getting a lot of questions in the last few months about this particular issue, so I thought I'd just share a few things. And if you want to talk more about any of these things, I always go to coffees or take a walk at a park with anyone that asks me. So I am here if you have thoughts on this or prayers or wanted to speak to me about any of this. One question, just I'm going to go over 3 quick things. The first one I get asked is, why are the worship teams so small? Is a question I get asked. And we have a great worship team at our church. We have some really gifted leaders that love the Lord more than their gifting. And I'm so thankful for such a size church as we have. We are just saturated with servants. So that is something I'm so grateful for. And, back before pandemic, the teams were usually larger. We had more volunteers. People back then tended to come to church more and volunteer more. Now, on average, most folks are available usually about once a month. And some are available more, but for the most part. So when we build teams, if you see just 2 or 3 people out there, it's not like no one can do it. It's just that people are not available. It really comes down to that. So we do the best with what we have. And as I said, I'm super thankful for that. And, there is a time where I myself really sense that I'm going to be significantly backing off from that capacity. I'm not up there a lot because I want to be. I'm up there a lot because I need to be, because of lack of volunteers. So we're doing the best. A lot of our folks that are involved in worship are involved in a lot of other areas. And, so in the church, so there's only so much they can give. And at the same time, I also will say that the standard for being on the team is a pretty high one. We have a brochure that you might look at if you're interested in worship that just asks, some things about the lifestyle and the heart of a person that wants to, that would endeavor to serve and worship. And it's not a little thing. It's not a little thing to get in front of the church and say, I'm going to lead you, serve you, worship. So, that is something that's also an element of it, is that we really do, we have standards, and it's a sacred thing. Worship is a special sacred thing. Second question I get asked about worship a lot is just, what is that thing that happens when, in the middle of songs, when there's quiet and it's awkward and we're all sitting around wondering, are they going to start the next song or what? And then people tend to pray and share scriptures, and that's just such a beautiful thing. It comes out of a passage in 1 Corinthians that just describes when the church gathers, what happens. And some I get a lot of times is like, am I qualified? Like, can I say something in that time? Here's the answer. Yes. I would be open to the day that there is so much participation in those times of prayer and confession and praise, and, people spontaneously just singing songs, that there wasn't time for a sermon because people just kept engaging. So I'm always ready to push the microphone away from my face if I'm up there and just let the church be the church. And so my thought, are you qualified? If a passage is on your heart to read, yeah, don't take, don't use King James English. Don't take over, don't be extra loud, or, be yourself, naturally supernatural. But yeah, if you have something to share and you feel it welling up in you, man, I wish you'd share it. We'd be so much better if you would. And so what are you qualified? The answer is, if you love Jesus and you have a pulse, yes. And just a third thing, and this isn't really a question, it's more just something I want to tack in here. I just would encourage you, be on time, be early and on time. When we start worship, man, when there's faith and anticipation and people are there and ready, it's different. And so our experience will always be better when that is how it is. And so I'd encourage you, if you're watching this, just make an effort to get there a little early. And when we start, let's experience God together. Hope this encourages you. Talk to you soon. Peace.